Very good morning and welcome to this Monday morning session of Yoga 9. Sit tall and sit comfortably. Roll the shoulders back. Eyes closed and focus on the breath. Long inhalations and the long exhalations. Take the arms out to the side. Lengthen the wrists away from each other. Turn the palms to face up. Breathing in, raise up the arms, up arms in line with the ear. Extend the armpits away from the hips. Extend the wrist. Spread the palms and spread the fingers. Join your palms together. Stuck thumbs away. 4 fingers away and the thumbs on the sternum. Focus on your breath. We'll begin by chanting Om 3 times. Take a slow, deep breath in. Release your hands. Open your eyes. Extend the legs and change the crossing of the legs. Roll the shoulders into. Rotate at the wrist. Turn the palms away from you. Breathing in, raise up the arms. Lift the armpits. Lift the elbows and lift the wrist. Stay in this posture and focus on the breath. Each time you breathe in, feel the breath run up the sides of the trunk, from the hip to the armpit. And as you breathe in, feel the extension of the sides of the trunk. And as you breathe out, maintain that extension. Take the fingertips slightly behind the hip. Lift the chest and look. Out, draw the chin to the chest. Breathing in and raise. As you breathe out, draw the chin to the chest. One more time, breathing in, raise up the head. Lift your ears and lift the crown of the head. As you breathe out, lift your ears, draw the chin to the chest. Slowly raise up your head. Change the interlock of your fingers. Sit at the wrist, turn the palms away from each other. Breathing in, raise up the arms once again. Lift the armpit, lift the wrist. Touch the sides of the trunk and focus on the breath. A full inhalation from the hip to the armpit. And as you breathe out, soften the abdomen. Slowly release your hands to your knees. Roll the shoulders back. Breathing in, move the navel and sternum forward. Look up. And as you breathe out, move the navel back, move the shoulder blades back and tuck the chin in. One more time, breathing in, move the navel forward, move the sternum forward, lift the crown of the head. And as you breathe out, draw the navel back, draw the shoulder blades back and tuck the chin. One more time, a full breath in. And lift the rib cage, lift the crown of the head. As you breathe out, draw the navel back, draw the rib cage back, and tuck the chin. Come back to a neutral position. Take your right hand behind you. Take your left hand over the right knee. Breathe in. As you breathe out, move the navel. Take a full breath in. Move the shoulder blades and move the chin. Slowly release. Change sides. Take your left hand behind you. Take your right hand over the left knee. Breathe in. And as you breathe out, move the navel. Breathe in. Move the shoulder blades. Breathe in. As you breathe out, move the chin. Wrap your fingers and palms around the knees again. Roll the shoulders back. Draw the elbows towards the chest and take the arms out to the side. Turn the palms to face up. Bend the elbows and place the fingertips on the shoulder. Draw the elbows together, breathing in. Lift the armpits, lift the elbows. Now maintain this posture and feel the extension from the hip to the armpit and from the armpit to the elbows. Feel the full extension of the sides of the trunk, back body and the front. Breathe out and release the elbows. Draw the elbows towards the sides of the trunk and feel the width of the trapezius muscles as you draw the elbows down. Breathe in once more, lift the armpits, lift the elbows. And as you breathe out, release the elbows to the sides of the trunk and feel the extension of the trapezius muscles away from the ears and away from the neck. One more time, breathe in and lift. Pull the elbows towards the side of the trunk if they can touch, all the better. And pull the trapezius muscle, pull the heads of the shoulders down and lift your ears away from the shoulders. Feel the length of the cervical spine. Lift the armpits once again, feel the full length of the spine. Release your palms and fingers, roll the shoulders back once again. Interlock your fingers, rotate at the wrist, turn the palms away from you. Breathe in and raise up the arms. Lift the armpits, lift the wrist. A full stretch of the sides of the trunk. And now, straighten the legs. Straighten out your legs, move your heels away from you, your toes towards you. Press your thighs down, lift the armpits, lift the wrist. There should be a full extension of the legs and a full extension of the trunk. From the hip to the heels and from the hip to the wrist. Lift the rib cage, lift the armpits, lift the elbows. Stretch your knees away from the hips and stretch your heels away. Slowly release. Roll your shoulders back, lie bend the knees and take your legs out for over waist lines. Press the tops of the feet down. Press your thighs down, heels away from you and toes towards you. Breathing in, raise up the arms, upper arms in line with the ear. Lift the navel, lift the chest, lift the elbows. A full stretch of the trunk. Slowly release. Back on your palms. Lift the navel, lift the chest and release the head back. Forward. Fold your legs in for Baddha Konasana. Bound angle pose. Wrap your fingers and palms around the ankles. Join the soles of the feet. Join the balls of the feet and join the big toes. See that your heels are in line with your midline. Roll the thighs down, press the knees down, lift the navel, lift the rib cage and lift your ears. Sit tall while in Baddha Konasana and feel the full openness, especially in the lower abdominal area. Lifting the navel away from the floor. Once you've done that, move the abdominal organs back. Move the navel back and feel the softness in the abdomen. From here, hold on to your big toes and straighten your right leg. Straighten your left leg. Hold on to your toes. If this is difficult, use a strap or place your hands on your thighs or your shins. Holding the big toes, lift the navel, lift the sternum, lift the crown of the head. Slowly release, roll the shoulders back, and spread out the legs for Upavishta Konasana once again. Folding your left leg with the left foot touching the right thigh. Engage both the thighs, press the thighs down, and lift the chest away from the hips. Feel the full extension of the sides of the trunk, the back body and the front body. At the same time, push your thighs down. The thighs move down. The straight leg heel away from you, toes towards you. Keep the foot straight. The bent leg, can you move this thigh away from you and sit tall. From here, take your left hand behind you, take your right hand over the left knee, breathing. And as you breathe out, twist to look over the left shoulder. Soften the abdomen, move the rib cage and move the chin. Keep the abdomen soft. Change sides. Take your right hand behind you. Take your left hand over the right thigh, breathing. Now the work here is to keep the thighs engaged, and as you're breathing, soften the abdomen and gently twist over the right shoulder. Move the navel, move the shoulder blades, and move the chin. Change sides. Extend out the left leg, hold the right leg in. Both thighs are engaged. The straight leg, move the heel away from you and the toe towards you. And the bent leg, move the thigh away from you, creating space and softness in the abdominal area. Take your right hand behind you, take your left hand over the right thigh, breathing. And as you breathe out, move the navel, move the shoulder blades, and move the chin. Keep your thighs engaged as you soften the abdomen and twist away. Slowly release, change sides, take your left hand behind you, take your right hand over the left thigh, breathing. And as you breathe out, move the navel, move the shoulder blades, and move the chin. Straighten out your legs once again, move your heels away from you, your toes towards you. Roll the shoulders back. Rest your palms behind you, lift the navel, lift the sternum, and release the head back. Engage your thighs to give you more of a lift. Slowly release, walk your hands forward, roll the shoulders back, cross your legs, wrap your fingers and palms around the knees. Lift the trunk, feel the extension and the softness of the abdomen. Feel that there's length from the pelvic floor to the navel, from the navel to the sternum, and from the sternum to the chin. Feel the entire midline extend vertically. Slowly release and come to stand. Come to stand with your feet hip width apart. Roll your shoulders back. Push the thighs back to engage the legs. See that all 10 toes are facing forward and the outer edges of your feet are parallel to each other. Lift the hip away from the knees. Push the thighs back. Lift the armpits away from the hips. Feel the full length of the side of the trunk. Breathing in, raise up the arm. Upper arms in line with the ear. Keep lifting the hips and stretch back. Lift the hips, lift the armpits, lift the wrist, keep stretching. Maintain the full extension of the sides of the trunk, the back body and the front body. Press your feet down to engage your legs and feel the connection between the right heel and the right wrist, the left heel and the left wrist. Feel that there's a connection running all through the length of the body. Can you breathe in and lift the armpits away from the floor, lift the wrists away from the floor, and feel this length in the sides of the body, the back body, and the front body. Slowly breathe out and release your hands. Place your hands on your hips, roll the shoulders back. Keep the chest open, draw the elbows towards each other. Breathing in, lift the navel, lift the sternum, and release the head slightly back. Slowly release your gaze forward. Interlock your fingers, rotate at the wrist, turn the palms away from you. Breathing in, raise up the arms. Press your feet down, push your thighs back. Lift the hips away from the floor. Lift the armpits away from the floor. Lift the wrists away from the floor and feel the full extension of the body. Press your feet down to lift the hips. Lift the armpits and lift the wrist. Engage the feet. The more you engage the feet, the more you press the feet down, the more you can lift. Slowly breathe out and release your hands. Roll the shoulders back and step out your legs. Take the legs as wide as you possibly can. Roll the shoulders back. Draw the elbows towards each other. Lift the navel. Lift the sternum. Lift the crown of the head. Feel the extension of the body. Press the feet down. Push your thighs back. Engage your legs. Lift the navel. Lift the sternum and lift the crown. To the side. Now lengthen your wrists away from each other and maintain the distance between the hip and the armpit. Maintain the distance between your armpits and the wrist. Lengthen both wrists away from you. Press your feet down, push your thighs back to lift the armpits. So you're engaging your legs to lift the trunk. The more you press your feet down, push your thighs back, lift the hips, lift the armpits, and lengthen the wrists away from each other. Slowly. So we maintain an extension both horizontally and vertically of the body, opening up the energy channels. Once again, roll the shoulders back to keep the chest open. Take the arms out to the side and lengthen the wrists away from each other. Broaden across the chest. Lengthen the shoulder blades away from each other. Lift your ears away from the shoulders. Press your feet down. Push your thighs back. Lift the hips. Lock the hips. Lift the armpits and extend the wrists away from you. Feel the full extension and openness of the sides of the trunk, the back body, and the front body. Now press your feet down, engage your feet to lift the hips, and lift the armpits and lengthen the wrists away from each other. Slowly release your hips. Roll the shoulders back, breathe in and lift the navel, lift the sternum and release the head back. Once more, rotate at the wrist, turn the palms away from you. Breathe in and raise up the arms. Same concept, press your feet down, push your thighs back, lift the hips. Feel the extension from the pelvic floor to the navel, from the navel to the sternum, and from the sternum to the crown of the head. Feel that the entire spine is now long. Keep lifting the armpits, lift the wrist, engage your feet. From here, hinge at the hips, forward, and release your palms towards the floor. Push your thighs back, lift the hips, lift the sitting bones, and bend the elbows to take the forehead towards the floor. Maintain the length from the hip to the armpit as you extend. Engage your feet, engage your thighs, soften the abdomen, release the rib cage down. Slowly gaze forward. Place your hands on your hips. Breathe in and come up. Change the bind of your interlock. Rotate at the wrist. Turn the palms away from you. Breathe in and raise up the arms. Now engage your legs. Push your thighs back. Lock the hips. Lift the armpits away from the hips. Breathe in. A slight concave back. Move the lower shoulder blade into the body. And as you breathe out, hinge at the hips, fold forward. If you can, take your palms to the floor. Bend the elbows to take the crown of the head lower. Soften the abdomen and lengthen the armpits away from the hips. Engage your legs and lengthen the crown of the head. Slowly release. Place your fingertips on the floor and look forward. Look forward. Move your thighs back and release the head. Keep pressing the feet down. Push your thighs back and extend the armpits away from the hips. Your hands on your hips. Breathe in to come up. Heel your feet hip width apart. Interlock your fingers once again. Rotate at the wrist. Turn the palms away from you. Breathe in and extend the body. Press your feet down. Lift the hips. Lift the armpits and lift the wrist. A full inhalation as you stretch. Breathe in, lift the heels, stretch the body. And as you breathe out, release the heels to the floor, maintaining the height of the arms. From here, release your hands to the side. Roll the shoulders back. Take your arms slightly behind you to keep the chest open. Now focus on your feet. Connect your feet to your knees to your hips, the hips to the armpits, and the armpits to the fingertips. Now each time you breathe out, lift the hips, lift the armpits, feel the extension of the body. And as you breathe out, extend the breath through the fingers. A full inhalation, feel the length of the legs and the length of the trunk. As you breathe out, feel the length of the arms as you breathe out. There's an upward action and an upward an upward movement of the breath from your feet to your hips, from the hips to the armpit. There's an upward movement of the energy as well. As you breathe out, feel the breath releasing through your fingers. Slowly, your hands onto your hips, roll the shoulders back and come onto your knees. Place your palms below the shoulders, lengthen the wrists away from each other. Breathing in, lift the tailbone, lift the chest. As you breathe out, tuck the tailbone in. Draw the chin to the chest, but this time feel the length of the crown of the head. Feel the length of the spine. Breathe in, drop the navel, lift the tailbone and lift the crown of the head. Slowly release. Back onto your heels, take your knees wide and stretch forward. Maintain the distance between the hip and the armpit as you extend the trunk and extend the arms. From here, come onto your knees, tuck your toes under and lift the hips. Lift the hips away from the heels, lift the hips away from the wrist. Feel the full extension of the body, V-shaped. Release your knees and come to lie flat on your back. Keep your knees up and your feet flat on the floor. Now straighten the right leg and lengthen the heel away from you. Left leg, straighten the left leg. Keep the heel off the mat and straighten the heel away from you. Now both legs, stretch the heel away from you and the toes towards you. Roll the shoulders back, turn the upper arms away from you. Feel that there's a length in the legs and there's a distance between the hip and the armpit. Now roll the thighs away from you, soften the abdomen, and release them. Turn the palms to face up. Keep the abdomen soft. Focus on just the exhalation. Both hands on the abdomen. Raise up your knees one by one, keeping your feet flat on the floor. Feel that the abdomen is soft. Release the spine and release the ribcage. Bend your right arm all the way past the right hip. Roll over onto your right hand side. And press to come to sit. Come to sit in a comfortable posture. Roll the shoulders back. Lift the armpits away from the hips. Lift the crown of the head. Feel the extension of the spine. Move the navel slightly back. Join your palms. Abdomen, the length of the spine, and the openness of the chest. Go a long, deep breath in. And as you breathe out, release the chin to the chest. And open your eyes. Have a wonderful day, and we will meet tomorrow. Thank you for joining us.